Today we'll be converting measurements from a smaller unit to a larger unit within word problems. I know I am meeting expectations when I can convert between measurements, find the fraction of a whole using an input table, create a word problem to multiply a whole number by a fraction with measurement conversion. I know I am exceeding expectations when I can accurately model and teach a peer. So let's start with the task. In 1 foot, we know that there are 12 inches. So I'm going to write 12 inches here. This is called an input-output table. We put in a measurement, and then on the other side, we convert and see our output of what would be equivalent to the measurement we put in. So here we have starting with feet, and that's because here we have 1 foot, and we're going to be ending in inches. So if we had 1 foot that we're starting with, and we wanted to find out how many inches that is, we would do the 1 foot times 12 inches per foot. 1 times 12 is 12 inches. So we know that there's 12 inches per foot. If we wanted to do 2 feet, we would do 2 times 12 inches per foot, and we'd see that's 24 inches in every foot. Here, we're going the opposite way. We're starting with inches, and we're trying to figure out how many feet that's equivalent to. So in this first one, we went from a large unit to a smaller unit. And here we're starting with a smaller unit and we're going to a larger unit. So we want to figure out how many, if we have 1 inch, how many feet that is. So let's start with inches. Notice this is on the input portion, and we're going to be ending in feet. So just the exact opposite from our first table. We are starting with 1 inch. They give it to us right here. Instead of multiplying though, because we're like we did here, we're going to be dividing. 1 inch split divided by 12, since there's 12 inches in a foot, means that it's 1/12 of a foot. 1 inch is 1/12, or 1 part out of 12 parts for that foot. Let's try the next part of the task. 1 yard to feet. Well, we know that there's 3 feet in every yard. So we're going to start on the input table. We're going to start with yards, and we have 1 yard, and then we're going to end in feet. So 1 yard times the 3 feet per yard means that we're going to have 3 feet as our answer. If we had 2 yards, we would do 2 times 3, and we would see that 2 yards is equal to 6 feet. Now we're going to do the same thing, but look, we're starting in feet, and then we're going to end in a bigger unit, yards. So we don't need as many yards to make up that total amount of feet. So we're going to start with feet. We have 2 feet. We're going to end in yards. So we're going to have 2 feet, and we know that we have 3 feet for every foot. So we're going to divide by 3 because we don't need as many yards to make up for the same feet. And 2 divided by 3 we know is 2/3. So 2 feet is equivalent to 2/3. We're multiplying here because we're going from a large unit to a smaller one. So we need more feet to make up for the same amount of yards. Here, we're going from a smaller unit to a bigger unit, so we don't need as many of this bigger unit. So we're going to be dividing by 3, making it into a fraction. Let's try the guided learn. Oh, before we start the guided learning, let's get the bottom here. When I'm converting from a larger unit to a smaller unit, I'm going to multiply. And then I made a little visual here in case you don't want to read the whole thing. Going from larger to smaller means that you multiply. When I'm converting from a smaller unit to a larger unit, I divide. You don't need as many of them. So same with the visual, smaller to larger means that we're going to divide. So you always just need to ask yourself, am I going from a larger unit to a smaller unit, or from a smaller unit to a larger unit? Now let's try guided learning. Jefferson has an eraser that is 1 inch long. How long is Jefferson's eraser in feet? Well, we know that there's 12 inches in every foot. So here, this is our input part, this is our output part. We're starting with inches, and we want to answer in feet. So that's how we know that the feet goes on this side. Well, let's see. If we had 12 inches, I know we don't, but if we had 12 inches, we would do 12 inches that we have divided by 12 inches per foot, and we would get 1 foot. So 12 inches equals 1 foot. But here we only have 1 inch, so we're going to put 1 inch here. We're still going to do the same steps though. 1 inch divided by 12 inches per foot equals 1/12 of a foot. The Jeffersons eraser is 1/12 of a foot long. Let's try the next one. Claire has a bracelet that is 9 inches long. How long is Claire's bracelet in feet? Well, once again, we know that there's 12 inches in every foot. So if we had 12 inches, we want to figure out how many feet that was. We would do 12 inches divided by 12 inches to get 1 foot. But we don't have 12 inches, we have 9 inches. So we're going to start with 9 inches, and we're going to do the same steps. 9 divided by 12 inches per foot means it's 9/12. So Claire's bracelet is 9/12 of a foot long. Next one. Joshua has a pet ladybug that is 1 centimeter long. How long is Joshua's ladybug in meters? All right, so we're looking at metric system because we have centimeters to meters. So remember that mnemonic device. King, Henry, died, unusually, drinking, chocolate, milk. So we're starting at centimeters, which is the C, and we're ending in meters, which is U for units. We're going over 1, 2 places. So we're going to be multiplying by 10 each time we go over. 10 times 10 is 100, which means that there's 100 centimeters in every meter. So let's see, they're giving us centimeters. He has 1 centimeter. So we're going to start, our input is centimeters, and it's asking how long Joshua's ladybug is in meters. So that's going to go on the right side. Our output is going to be meters. Let's see, if we had 100 centimeters, 100 centimeters equals 1 meter. If we had 100 centimeters, we would divide it by 100 centimeters per meter, and we would get 1 meter. 100 centimeters equals 1 meter. But we don't have 100 centimeters. We only have 1. So we're going to do 1 centimeter, and we're going to divide that by 100 centimeters per meter, and that gets us 1/100th. So Joshua's ladybug is 1/100th meter long. Let's try D. Javian has a pet snake that is 30 centimeters long. How long is Javian's pet snake in meters? Okay, so once again, we're doing centimeters to meters. So this is like metric system. So we're going to have King, Henry, died, unusually, drinking, chocolate, milk. Oh, wow, we're going from centimeters to meters again. Remember, U means units, and that includes meters, grams, and liters. So we're going over 2 places. Let's multiply by 10 each time. 10 times 10 is 100, which means there's 100 centimeters in 1 meter. So once again, they're saying that he has 30 centimeters. So we're starting in centimeters. And the question is asking how long his snake is in meters. So we're going to have our output as meters. We have we'll just do 30. We'll have 30 centimeters. So remember, they're giving us 30 centimeters. We're dividing by 100 centimeters per meter. 300 divided by 100, 30 divided by 100 is 30 hundredths, or 3/10. Either one is fine. They're both equivalent fractions. So Javian's pet snake is 30 hundredths of a meter long, or it's 3/10 of a meter long. Either one is fine. Last question. Wally's water bottle is 15 inches tall. How tall is his water bottle in feet? Okay, so let's see. We're trying to convert from inches to feet. So we know that there's 12 inches in every foot. So we're going to make our input-output table. So the input is we're starting with inches. They're going to have inches. Our equation is going to be in the middle. Please draw this table out. And then our output, which is our answer, is going to be in feet. So we're going to put feet here. Well, let's see. If we had 12 inches, we know that 12 inches divided by 12 inches per foot is 1 foot. But we don't have 12 inches, we have 15 inches. So we're going to do 15 inches divided by 12 inches per foot. Oh, wow, that's 15/12. Notice the numerator, the top number, is bigger than the denominator, the bottom number. So we can simplify to make that a mixed number. That's 1, which is 12/12. And if we have 12/12, we need 3 more 12s to get to 15/12. So 3/12 is left over. Wally's water bottle is 1 3/12 feet tall.